What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and would you believe it, a year's gone by already. It's the channel's birthday. Now, I was going to go all out. I was going to get some decorations and go a bit mad, but I thought that might be a little bit much. So what I wanted to do instead, a couple of little ideas. I just want to start with a few things about kind of why I started the channel, a little bit about kind of where we are today with some thank yous along the way. And then I thought what we could do, because it's going to be hilarious, it's going to be cringy as hell, I'm going to hate every second of it, but I thought we could maybe react to my first ever video, my introduction. A lot of you have probably watched it, or I hope you have. But yeah, I think me watching along and taking the mick at myself should be quite fun, I think. But yeah, a year on, I can't believe it's gone so quick. I mean, I say a year on as of recording this. A year, the channel's birthday technically was a couple of days ago, but I was working, so I've been waiting till now to kind of get this together. But yeah, it's gone so quick. A lot's happened. A lot of ideas I did haven't come to fruition because of a lot of things in my life. Those of you who are quite close to me or I've spoke to one-on-one will know things that have happened. So it's been kind of hard to get things moving in the direction I wanted. But hopefully you still enjoyed the past 12 months content and what I have been able to put out. And hopefully moving forward year two, we can keep growing and improving. But yeah, kind of the channel's inception. And I'm not just saying this, but I used to spend a lot of time on PSN profiles when I was at work. Any little minute, any spare minute I got, I was constantly looking at it, all the stats, you know, everything, as you do, just to kill a bit of time. But I loved looking at it, and I always had it in my mind. I could do something with this in terms of, you know, a YouTube channel. It was something that I'd thought about. And then, like everything, technology listens to you, I'm sure about it. You know, the minute you start talking about something, it appears on your phone, doesn't it, as an advert or a link to something. And as soon as I started to kind of talk out loud and things about this, all of a sudden, I was getting, you know, suggestions for like Platinum Bro. Hi Lewis, if you ever watch a video. Yeah, so it was thanks to Lewis that I'd seen that this was possible and kind of followed a little bit of what he was doing. He did talk to me a little bit in the beginning, give me a few little tips, which was brilliant. So I can't thank him enough for that. He has helped me with other stuff as well, including the Super Meat Boy thumbnail. So, you know, massive hats off to Lewis for that as well. But yeah, I kind of seen what he was doing. I thought, I'm just going to go for it. Picked up the laptop and kind of there we were. It didn't start great, as you guys know. We were just using a terrible headset and it was not great. Sound was horrible. Yeah, and those first few videos are so cringy. I don't know who that guy is in the videos, but yeah, I really didn't think it was going to get to kind of where it is today. The idea behind it is I am in a few communities, so as well as me loving PSN profiles and wanting to talk about trophies and look at what other people are doing, I am in a few communities, and you know, I am going to say it, they can be quite toxic, you know, not always very supporting. You're getting people that may help with boosting and then they disappear once they've got their kind of end of the bargain, if you like. And it just, in my mind, I wanted to create something that was for everyone. You know, everyone was pushing each other, everyone was supporting each other and helping. And yeah, realistically, I thought I might have got like 20 people in the Discord or something like that. I really didn't think it would get to a couple of hundred, which is where we are now, of some of the most amazing people I've ever had the pleasure of talking to and also meeting, because as a lot of you know, I've met Mark in person. You know, he came up for the weekend and we had such a good time, and honestly, met friends for life. It's been that good. You know, other things on top of that, you know, we've set up like the Patreon, where people are now helping me, and you know, I never expected anything, but it's honestly absolutely unbelievable. I can't thank you for that, you know, additional support, and it just kind of makes me know or believe that, you know, that what I'm doing is good, I think. But yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, a bit of a ride. Content hasn't always got out when I planned for it, just due to life. You know, unfortunately, adult life does get in the way. It's just, you know, one of those things. Ideally, I'd like to just sit here and play games all day and make a video every day, but things obviously come up and get in the way. It's just the way it is, I suppose. But yeah, it's been fantastic. I'd like to think we've moved it on a lot still. You know, we've got the mic now. You know, we've got a better setup. I'd like to think a better backdrop than you know, there's ever been. Hopefully we can start doing a few things. some lighting and things just to maybe jazz it up a bit instead of just this glaring window, which is really annoying. But yeah, it's been a bit of a ride. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to jump. Yeah, I daren't even switch over to it. Honestly, I'm thinking about me going, oh, it's Platinum Jangus here. Welcome to the channel. Why did I put a Geordie accent on? Anyway, yeah, we're going to look at the first video. We're going to go through it together. We're going to have a bit of a laugh. It's just a bit of fun at the end of the day, isn't it? But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, for the past 12 months, everything that you guys have done and said to push not just me, but everyone, and making the Discord such an amazing place, you know, the place it is. Honestly, thank you so much, guys. It really means everything to me. So here we are, and I honestly don't think I'm ready for this. I mean, I haven't even pressed play yet, and just look at the stare. Look, ready to start his YouTube journey. Look at that. Oh, this is going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. Oh, do I press play? What's going on, guys? Platinum Jangus here. Welcome to the channel. What's going on, guys? Platinum Jangus here. Welcome. Oh, I'm gonna. Why didn't I? Oh, so bad. Putting people to sleep. How did anyone ever sup? I'm probably going to stop it a little bit on the way as we go, just to react to some bits. But yeah, this is so cringe. What's going on? Look at the face. My first ever video where I'm here to talk about all things gaming, all things PlayStation trophies. Just remember, if you do like the content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let's get on with the video. Stuck in your head all day, right? So here we go, guys. So here we go, guys. What was that? What was I doing? What was I even thinking? Where's the energy, Jeffrey? Where's the energy? Why do I seem so bored? I was meant to be so excited about starting it, and I was just like, no, the real reason is because it is the first one. You're talking into the camera. You feel a bit weird. It is a bit bizarre. It's very strange at first, so we'll let me off a little bit, just a little bit. Let's crack on. First is just apologies in advance if there is any technical difficulties regarding sound, whether that be me apologising again, anything coming from the headset, any lighting issues. I've had a couple of technical difficulties which have caused a little problem, but hopefully we can power through that if anything was to occur. But here we are then on the beloved PSN profiles, where I do spend most of my time if I'm not actually gaming or at work. I'm generally on this website. I think it goes into a lot of detail, whether it's a guide you're looking for or just general stats. I do think it's a brilliant page. Now, I do have some great ideas moving forward for where I'd like to go with the channel, but until I can get used to this whole ideas. See, I was still spouting that nonsense at the beginning. Yeah, so it's been tricky. Like I said in the intro, a bit of a roller coaster. It's been hard to always put the kind of the plans in place that I wanted, but hopefully we can start to improve on that. YouTube craziness. I think what I'll do to begin with is what I enjoy the most, which is basically looking at trophy lists, seeing what people have played, what they haven't played, maybe what they've found easy, what they've found difficult, comparing that with sort of your own experiences. What am I talking about? What I thought for the first videos, you can at least get to know me a little bit, maybe have a little glance at some of the things that I've played as well. I was going to do a full deep dive, maybe going through the entire list so you can see pretty much everything I've played, but I had a little glance through. You know, I've spoken to a friend about this as well, just talking about the games we enjoy in it. Really, I just didn't want to show you all the jumping games, so I thought I'd keep it to the good stuff. We're talking a 2-3 hour conversation, so it wouldn't work out. So I'm going to keep it simple, just go through, you know, some of the basic stats you find out about me, as I say, and yeah, and then what I'll look to do is maybe start things with a trophy list series. I've already got a few people lined up that I'm going to do that on, and then from there, you know, I'd love it if you guys could, you know, drop me a comment on the video. I'll certainly pop you on the list and we can look at, you know, working through and getting everyone done. It'll be great to see what everyone's playing, you know, really looking forward to it. I will drop a link to the Discord in there as well.
where I will give people priority for a trophy list review by doing it via that method.
I wasn't joking when
I'm
I said
happy
I
for it to come
waffle.
through YouTube as well, and I will certainly
Listen,
get to it.
consistent.
But yeah, let's just crack on, and we'll have a little glance through. I'll try not to make this video too long or waffle on too much, with it being the first
Waffle.
kind of video. But yeah, for trophies for me, I mean, I was a completionist even before trophies were really a thing. I've always, even going back to when I started gaming, which was like Mega Drive days and, the first Nintendo, that kind of thing. I'm always trying to complete games to 100%, even if you had nothing to kind of show for it. So for, PlayStation to bring the trophy support out, it's been really good. I didn't kind of get stuck into it straight away. I did have a little dip off with playing such a wide variety of games. I got kind of stuck in this hole of just playing FIFA with my mates, playing a lot of Call of Duty online. It really kind of sucked me in, especially.
And that's something I've mentioned a lot, haven't I, in the videos, and that's another thing that I can thank a lot of you guys for as well. Because although I did find my way out of that hole of just playing FIFA, COD, Grand Theft Auto, or just like a typical guy, and yeah, although I started to branch off and get into more gaming when trophies became a big thing for me, it's really you guys that have totally pushed me, because I am now playing things I never would have. I'm trying things that I probably would have left due to difficulty maybe. So yeah, honestly, it's massive thanks for that as well. I'm really kind of broadened my horizons, I would say, since we started doing all this. But yeah, don't know what this guy's on about. What a weirdo.
When COD 4 first came out, and it was just groundbreaking, and spending so much time with friends on that, which was unbelievable. But it kind of steered me away from what I do love, which is playing so many games, getting them finished, and now ultimately getting the trophies to show for it. So yeah, we'll just kind of go through it. I know you guys can read, but in case there's guys out there like me that like to just listen to these things in the background, sometimes I'll read things out as well.
And I still stand by that. I've had the odd few messages saying, why do you go through the stats? We can all read. But honestly, and hopefully there's a few of you that back me up whenever I've kind of listened to, like when Lewis used to do these. Sometimes I'd be sat doing something else. Sometimes I might be just doing a bit of tidying, even, a few chores around the house, if you like, and just listening in the background. So the fact that they're read out, it does help, because, you're not always just looking directly at the device you're watching it on, I suppose.
Currently 659 on trophy level, not majorly important, but that's what it is. We're sitting at 15,587 trophies overall, 389 of those being platinum, 2,703 of those being gold. We've got 3,442 silver and 9,053 bronze, which is pretty good. I'd like to say, I don't want to big myself up, blow smoke at my own backside. It's pretty good, and to say, and I'll hold my hand up to this, I do play a lot of easy games, a lot of those sweaty games, your Wrath like East Asia Soft, stuff like that, because you kind of have to if you want to stay high on the leaderboards, which I'm a little bit obsessed with. I wish I wasn't, but
So another little pause there, and again, another opportunity to sort of thank you guys, as I'm talking about there with the leaderboards. And you'll notice my rank as well, from kind of sort of where it was then to where it is now. I did used to throw a few easy games in. I went through a phase where it was more respectable easy games, I would say. Some of the Ratchalika stuff wasn't so bad, but then I did get into a bit of a rut of like the jumping stuff, and these sheep quiz, and I did get into a bit of a run of those, and then it's the Discord that I thank for that as well, because it was you guys that kind of steered me away from them, and we're still going strong. The date's been brought up quite a lot, but August 13th, 2022 was the last time that I'd done one. Haven't looked back since. Really enjoying playing, proper games and kind of pushing myself. So yeah, I have you guys to thank me for that, because this guy here was obsessed with the leaderboards. This guy isn't. It'd still be nice to get high up on there. I'm still quite competitive, but in my mind now, I know it's not really possible unless you're going to do all these easy games. But yeah, to you guys that have taken me away from that. So yeah, you changed me. I'm a changed man. Thank you very much.
it kind of is what it is, but I don't feel that kind of the gold to bronze ratio is all that bad. I have seen some trophy lists, and it's quite balanced across the board, and it does give a good indication that there's a lot of easy games, maybe multiple stacks of the same game, which I don't do. I generally, the only game you'll see more than once is if it's a bigger game, which I don't mind doing, of course, or if, which has quite recently been given, like cross-buy stuff. So I'm buying it, you're getting the PS4 and PS5 version. I'll do it. I've paid, a few quid for the game. I'll do it on both, but I'm certainly not buying it in North America and Japan and everything like that as well. It's not for me personally. If you do it, then fantastic, more platinums. But I try to not do that, as well as auto popping as well. That's not for me
I
as
haven't
well.
changed there, have I?
So that's the trophies themselves. I've played 470 games.
Damn auto pops.
373 of those have been completed to 100%. Which it's difficult. I mean, the sheer amount of DLC that's coming out for games now, it is kind of hard to complete everything to 100%. The minute you do a game now, they drop a DLC, it's either not to my liking and I don't want it, or it's crazy expensive, and you just can't justify it, not with the amount of games that are kind of coming out. The percentage 94.35, which I think is really good. Again, I don't want to bring myself too much up here, but I like to, when I look at these lists, I feel 80% and above, it really tells me a lot. I think if you're finishing 4 out of 5 of your games to 100%, then that's pretty good going.
It's quite funny, isn't it? Because at least I'm not contradicting myself so far. A lot of the things I said a year ago about auto popping, about what we're talking about here with kind of the 80% completion rate, I still stand by, which is good. So I was kind of wondering if I was going to say things which I really don't today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what else I say.
Anything above that, yeah, fantastic. It was kind of pushing 95%, which is where I'm trying to get back to, but I have recently started.
We're nearly back. We're nearly back.
The Skywalker Saga, Lego.
Oh no, not that
also
game.
Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. So that's kind of dropped that off a little, which we'll push it back up, not a problem. The unearned trophies, 978, which is a lot. I see people with a lot more, but I've seen some with a lot less. Again, it's difficult. There's so much DLC and things now, especially things like, I think what I have on my list is a good example. Call of Duty. I quite often either platinum them or I get very close, and then they drop out like 4 zombie packs, for example, all having like 10 trophies each, something like that. Anyway.
And they were all pretty much the same until very recently as well. So big thanks to my boy Shaz again, getting me some help on the zombies. Hacks helped a little bit with the Easter egg stuff on Infinite Warfare. So yeah, those COD games, they were still the same up until a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to hopefully go back to a few of them and see if we can clean a few up.
And then these games are getting close to 100 trophies. I'm only getting maybe 40 or 50 of them. So it's quite easy that these can mount up. 5.69 trophies a day, which again is good, but I am playing a lot of these easy games, so there's days where I'm getting like 40, 50 trophies a day, so it's easy to see why that is the number it is. The view.
Just kind of listening to, a little bit off topic, kind of, but just listening to the background music as well. So hopefully you guys prefer the background stuff that's on it now, where it's a little bit more upbeat. I mean, when I started doing this, I was using a completely different editing tool where your options for the audio were very, very limited. And this was the best of a bad bunch. But listening to it back, it's almost too relaxed, I think. I'm about to fall asleep just watching it. So yeah, I'm using something totally different now. I've just got loads of options, some quite dancey stuff in there, depending on, what kind of video I'm doing, just to lift the beat a little bit, if you like. But yeah, just listening to it, and it's like a lullaby. I'm going to drop off.
I don't actually know where these are coming from, but it is nice to see that people are checking the page out. I've got it like linked on my Instagram and stuff, and maybe people are coming through that way. But it is nice to, to see that people are having a little browse, see what I'm doing, kind of thing. World rank 4016, and the country rank being the UK, as you can see in the corner, 447. It's been like this for a little while. It is very hard to kind of do much more at this point. As I sort of mentioned at the start, being obsessed with the numbers, I kind of am a little bit, and I wish I wasn't. But when I see a leaderboard, I do just want to be higher up on it. It's always been the same, but I'm kind of at a point now where it has just sort of plateaued. It's very difficult unless you buy in these easy games and buy, region stacking it and that kind of thing. It's very difficult to kind of push it up. I mean, for example, now I'll be playing Lego, I'll be playing Stranger of Paradise, and while I'm doing that, I can see myself slowly dropping down, and then I'll have to pick up 2 or 3 of these easy titles just to bring it back to there, and it's just a constant cycle of the same thing. But we'll try not to worry too much about that. But it's something I do try and push up if I can. But yeah, it's making it quite difficult. Now, as I say, I've got 470 games. I was going to go through the whole list, but we're probably talking a couple of hours, and I know you don't want to see that on the first video, especially. So we'll just have a couple.
Yeah, so full disclosure on this as well. So letting you guys into some of the secrets. I did attempt it as well. So obviously I did mention at the start how me and my mate had a conversation about my trophies, and then all of a sudden we've been talking for hours. So I kind of had a feeling it would be long, but I did attempt it. And because I do waffle on, I know that I like to chat. I'd only got so far down the list, and I kind of glanced, at like a stopwatch I had set up next to me just to kind of keep an eye on how long things were. Yeah, it was going to be way, way too long. I'd gone into far too much detail on each of the games, and it was just going to get out of control. So I thought I'll kind of bit the bullet. I just stopped it there, scrapped that clip, and that's why I decided to go with this, which you're about to see. And I am going to do a full deep dive at some point. It is something that I've thought about doing for a long while. It is going to be a long video, but it is what it is. We'll try and make it kind of, thanks to Rob, as interactive and as engaging as possible. I'm going to maybe save it for the 100th video on the channel, so we'll do that as part of a little milestone. Maybe a few weeks before doing the video, I'm going to leave it open to you guys because I've been trying it seems like it's cursed at this point, but I've tried to do Q&A 3 times now, and different things have happened and it just hasn't came to fruition. So I just feel like it's never going to happen, so I might kind of incorporate the Q&A in with the 100th episode while looking at my list. So questions you might want to know about me, questions you might want to know about the games on my list, my opinions, experiences, whatever it may be, we'll kind of leave that up to you guys, and we'll try and tie it into one kind of epic 100th video really. But yeah, that was Rob's idea, so thank you for that, Rob. But yeah, we'll go through the list. I think I've improved it a little bit. I would have been a bit embarrassed 8 months ago, maybe 8 months, something like that, going through it with all these easy games, where I've padded it out now with a lot more tougher stuff where it's not as noticeable. So that's what I want to try and do now. Is it was getting to a point where the easy games were kind of overpowering the hard work I'd done, whereas I'm trying to kind of do it the other way around now. So you'll see so many good games, and then you won't feel as I won't feel as sweaty when I see an easy one kind of chucked in.
Look at a couple of the stats anyway, and then maybe in the future, if there's enough requests for it, if you guys like listening to me, we'll maybe go through the list in full. You can have a look at all the games I've played in the past. Maybe start with the trophy cabinet. I do need to look at changing this. I mean, you'll see something which is glaringly obvious, and that I play a lot of FIFA. They are generally quite rare because it does have such a high player base. Not only that, but the platinums are sometimes quite difficult, especially with the Ultimate Team.
Sorry for the stopping it all the time, but a little bit on this as well. So I did eventually change it because I was a little bit annoyed that it was just showing FIFA with 3 of the games, and as you can see, The Crew, Hell Let Loose in there, and Grand Theft Auto 5. I put some of my more kind of impressive ones in there, but then the percentages don't always speak the truth. So when you look at it, it doesn't look as good, I don't think. And even that was bugging me, and I've ended up putting it back to my rarest ones until I can kind of decide on what I want to do with it exactly.
getting to higher divisions, that kind of stuff. Sometimes the Volta trophies, especially FIFA 20, which is why it's my rarest platinum of all, was really annoying. I think I played like, not exaggerating here, 500 or 600 games of Volta just to get the avatar to a certain level. But yeah, I had it kind of listed in rarity order. I just thought it looked better seeing all your rarest ones, but it is kind of bugging me a little bit that it does just say FIFA. So I think what I'm going to maybe look at doing is sort of changing that and putting in like my proudest ones, because there are games that I've done. I'll give a couple. For example, I have got the platinum for Cuphead, which is potentially my proudest one. Fall Guys, I did legitimately one of my proudest. I've done Bloodborne, I've done Neo, those types of games, and really I should have those.
And since then, we've had a few others as well, and another shout out to Ray and Mark. Aliens Fireteam Elite joins that list as well. There's a couple others I went back and cleaned up. Crash Bandicoot. It's a 7 out of 10, but still it was quite difficult, for me. There's a few others I've done since that I thought were quite tricky, but yeah, it might be something I might need to kind of revisit. Yeah, it's something I'll probably change again. It'll always alter. I'll look at it. I want the most rarest, and I'll change it back to what was most difficult, and then I'll keep moving it around. Really, I want Mortar Compass. I want Thomas's cabinet and just Final Fantasy in all of them, but I don't have 10 FF plats yet. But that should soon come with the Pixel remasters.
Was listed in there if we're being completely honest. So yeah, I should really have a little look at the cabinet and maybe go through. I'll drop it down real quick. I mean, you'll see there the rarest trophies. There's a few sort of in the mix there from NBA 2K16, which I just dabbled with. I'm not a big basketball fan, but it was free back then. I give it a try. And the trophies are always really rare for the NBA games. Trackmania Turbo, which I do need to go back. I don't have the platinum for that, but I should really jump back in because it would be my rarest of all. I'll show you a couple of the milestones. My latest one being an easy platinum ultra mission. If you do, as I say, at any stage want to just pause the video and have a little look what's on screen, feel free. I'll kind of take it back to sort of where I started, because I did have a profile on the PS3, but it was when I was really playing just Call of Duty and FIFA, and I wanted to just do a clean slate. And a lot of people do say, should I start a fresh list, or a fresh profile, so I can be at 100%? I generally would say no if you've put a lot of effort in, but I literally had like FIFA, Call of Duty on there. There was Final Fantasy 13, just a couple of basic games, all like 1 and 2%. Nothing major, so I thought I'll go fresh. So yeah, my first trophy on here, which was I believe November 2014, which was on FIFA 15. Infamous Second Son being my first platinum as well.
Great game.
Which was a really good game.
I
think it was a launch title on the PS4 and a very solid game at that. I do enjoy the Infamous games.
We want another one.
Looking at because I know some people like to look at ultra rares, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
yeah, I've got
ultra
166
friends.
ultra rares, which I think is pretty good going. It sort of seems to be in the middle when I look at a range of sort of trophy hunters. But yeah, 166 ultra rares, and I thought maybe what I would do is,
which has changed a little bit now. If I remember rightly, 213 we're up to, which is nothing compared to some of you guys in the server. Some of you guys are just absolute goats, and it's ridiculous. But I think it's a pretty solid number for just playing kind of organically. Yeah, obviously thanks again to to Shaz recently with like pointing me in the right direction for Infinite Warfare, and also like Sniper Elite, which I've been able to clean up. That's popped a few recent ultra rares, give me a little boost. A lot of them I did get myself just organically, as I say, but yeah, I think 230, we're not doing too bad at the moment there.
If I drop it into the actual trophy log, you'll see there I've just been playing Lego today. So I've had a couple of trophies on that, but yeah, if I was to drop it in by rarity,
still have sleepless nights over that game.
By platinum, let's hope if I click the right one, and we'll maybe have a look at them this way rather than going through the entire trophy list. I'll let you have a look at some of the sort of the rarer ones. So you can see the ones you've already looked at, going from FIFA 20 being the rarest down to GTA 5 is sort of the 10th one. Um, yeah, I've got a knack with FIFA. I've played football games for a long time. Pretty much, I think I started like FIFA '94 or something like that. And I wish I didn't love football as much because FIFA does annoy me a little bit at times. But you know, I understand they're now making changes, so the title as well. So let's see where it goes from here. It's yeah, a lot of FIFA. Um, yeah, just kind of going down. We've got Battlefront, Dirt Rally 2, Steep, which was a tricky one, getting all gold
It
medals,
was.
Fall Guys, which, yeah, I did legitimately. I know there was a, I think it was May of 21, there was an exploit where you could get the infallible trophy in a way. I'm not sure how that kind of worked, but you can see from the date, this was like a month after it was given free. I did it the 4th of September. Yes, I did it legit, but also at this moment in time, people weren't very good as well. So look,
And still to this day, I keep saying it, but I just wish those exploits were not in there because the rarity of this game would have been insane. I mean, it's hard to say exactly what it would have been, but it's going to be 0.0 something. Um, but obviously, all the exploits and then the easier game modes coming in, it just allowed, I suppose, for more people to bring that juicy platinum home. But yeah, that would have been my rarest by far. It would have been fantastic.
I do agree it was impressive to get it legit, but yeah, people weren't very good. You were playing with a lot of people who had no idea. I was fortunate in the final round on 4 out of 5 occasions. I got, if you guys are aware of it, Hexagon with the final round. I just kind of
Hexagon,
had a
such a
knack to
good
it,
game
especially
mode.
at that point when people weren't sure how to play. They're kind of just running around like crazy, and all the platforms are just dropping, dropping, dropping. But if you just kind of use a bit of common sense, there is a small window where you can stand on the hexagons, wait and just jump from one to the next. When someone else has maybe dropped 20, 30 platforms, you've maybe jumped on 5 of them, and you find that they've all fallen at the bottom and you're still just taking it easy at the top, jumping from platform to platform. I got that 4 out of 5 times, which was really nice because you kind of couldn't lose it with that technique. And then it was I can't remember the name of it, like tail tag, but the one in the final. Um,
Tail
I managed to
tag.
come out on top, so that was good. Just Cause 3. I enjoy the Just Cause games. Yeah, I've done Just Cause 4 as well. I'm not sure how rare it is. I don't know if it'll be sort of coming up. But yeah, they are what they are. Bit of fun, a lot of explosions and action, and just defying the laws of physics. It's just a lot of fun.
True that. True
For
that.
another FIFA game, the only one that doesn't kind of come up in the top 10. It was a little easier this year. Um, so yeah, that one's sort of fall. Actually, looking at the rarity, it was over 4%. So I don't know, because it's now free and I suppose it's added a lot more players, that has diluted that percentage a little bit. But I imagine that in no time will shoot back up. Yeah, Advanced Warfare, Battlefront
What am I
2.
going on about?
Really happy they added being able to fight bots, because I was really struggling to get to level 50. It was taking so long, and then they added this.
Sorry, I haven't been reacting or talking too much. I think I'm putting myself to sleep, which is just bananas. What a way to say something. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to take it all in. But yeah, this is so weird because I tend not to watch them back now. I mean, when I first started doing the videos, I used to record it and then I used to watch the whole thing back, like the entire thing. And I suppose initially it was to listen out just to make sure I'd not not swore or anything by mistake and didn't realise I said anything offensive. It is easy for certain words to slip out. You don't want to upset anybody. So I used to watch them in their entirety, and just in case I'd made any errors. And then as time has gone by, more secrets coming out here, and this isn't laziness, it's just feeling more confident in kind of what I'm doing. But I tend to just kind of pick up little sections of the video, first of all to make sure that the audio and everything's definitely worked and nothing's gone wrong with the camera, all that stuff. But I generally don't need to listen to every kind of word now. I feel quite confident that I haven't said anything ridiculous. but yeah, that's kind of it really. So I don't watch them as much as I did. But yeah, this is weird, kind of going back and listening to myself, especially when it was at a stage where that energy isn't there because you're scared talking to a camera, and it's a bit. I'm just kind of like, yeah, FIFA 22, yeah, it's all right, yeah, it's easier than the others, yeah. That's why I don't even. What's strange is even like in real life, I don't talk like that. So even when I was in front of the camera, and you have to be even more enthusiastic. How have I gone backwards talking about something I'm so passionate about? It is weird, but like you say, you're starting off something, and hopefully it's improved. That's all I ask. Hopefully it's improved.
Other mode in, and you could just go around just annihilating stormtroopers, getting crazy scores in one game, really helping. I did it on I think it was a triple XP weekend they did, and
Oh, was it,
it made
Jeff?
a big
Triple
difference.
XP weekend.
Knack, although just a cartoony platformer, it was really difficult, especially on the hard mode. You need to have a lot of patience for it.
Yes, you
Last of
do.
Us, one of the best games ever made. Loved it.
Yes, it is.
Mass Effect Andromeda, I enjoyed it. I know it got panned. A
It
lot of
did.
people didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I really liked it. Mafia 3, Dying Light, Mad Max. A shame you
But yeah, Mass Effect was. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I played it before the kind of Legendary Edition came out. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it because I wasn't able to compare it with how amazing the that original trilogy was. It was new, but for someone who loves space and all that kind of stuff, it was enjoyable. It was just the facial reactions, wasn't it? They were kind of like 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 this talking, but whether they were happy or whether they were sad, they only pulled this face, and it was so weird. But yeah, that was the only thing that the facial expressions didn't quite match their energy, what they were saying. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good game.
can't. I think this is still the case, but you can't get the platinum trophy for that
It's
anymore.
like that.
Due to one of the challenges that you need to be connected to their servers, which are now shut down. It's a bit annoying. Oh yeah, Just Cause 4 is in there. Avengers. People have a lot of opinions on this. I actually didn't mind it. I didn't have any bugs, no problems. My only real
Just
issue
the
was there was
hives.
a
Oh,
lack of maps, should we say. I
the
suppose when you're doing
hives.
the 50 hives, you're just kind of
Go
running
on,
the
Jeff.
same thing, running through the same forest, going down the same elevator, down the same corridors to fight Taskmaster or
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Abomination, and it just was on a loop. A little bit annoying, but I didn't actually mind the game overall. It was pretty good. The Surge, which I've done recently, um, yeah, me and a friend actually, we've really gotten into the Souls-like games. Even the games where you can't play co-op, we're kind of playing at the same time. So we're using the pin-in picture. I might have got that totally wrong, but on the PS5 where you can play whilst watching your friend, we're kind of doing that and helping each other through. So if I'm getting stuck on a boss and maybe he hasn't, or vice versa. We're just kind of helping each other along. I think it's massively helpful because these games can get quite stressful. So when you're kind of at boiling point and you're maybe close to smashing a joypad or calling it for the day or getting really angry, you do have that voice of reason on the headset just kind of helping you. And we're doing it for each other. We've done this.
And I still stand by that as well. Since doing, the Surge, Bloodborne, Neo, we've now played Elden Ring. Um, we didn't do any of it co-op. We did try, but we found that because the bosses had like increased health and stuff, that it was actually making it trickier, and it was best to just play on your own with your mimic. Um, but yeah, we've done the same. Done it with Elden Ring. We've done it with Demon Souls as well. We'll probably start moving on. We're not playing as much as we were at the moment, but we'll probably move on to some others. But definitely these kind of games, I really enjoy playing with someone else there because they can be quite stressful, and I do think it really helps if you've got someone calm on the other end of the headset, just keeping your head in the right space. Keep encouraging you to push on, give the boss another try, that kind of stuff. And it's better than just playing it on your own and getting yourself sort of worked up, which can easily happen with a From Software game.
We've done Bloodborne. We've done a couple of games now together, and it works definitely if you like these kind of games, and maybe won't play them because you think it is going to grind your gears. See if you've got a pal who can jump in and sort of play at the same time. It makes a whole lot of difference. Onrush, Horizon Chase Turbo. I'm quite surprised these are as rare as they are. Beach Buggy Racing, it's just a typical kart racer, like a Crash Team Racing type. Picking up weapons, chucking projectiles at people to make them spin
It's
out.
pretty good.
But there are a lot of grindy trophies in it, so I can kind of see why that's sort of where it is. Need for Speed, Tabletop Racing, another Need for Speed, Swords of Ditto, which I hadn't actually heard about. I don't know if you guys have. Some of you will, some definitely won't have. How do I explain it? Yeah, it's kind of top down, very colourful art style. You can play with a friend. I actually play with my wife, and she's a gamer as well, has her own PS5. So
Oh, awkward. Yeah. So obviously a lot of you know, because you've been in since the very beginning. For those of you who maybe you've came late, you might have caught up on the videos and know the situation. But I'm just going to say it. I don't really care. But yeah, obviously as you can see, the location was different. You might have noticed I had a ring on my finger. I was married. I'm divorced now. It actually went through on the 26th of April. 26th of April. So yeah, I'm finally free. Well, I'm not free because now I'm attached to Becky, and she won't let me go. She's trapped me. But no, honestly, just being a bit more serious about it, this is one of the big reasons why a lot of the content didn't kind of come to fruition, because within a very kind of short space of time, I'd split up with my ex-wife. I'd lost, obviously, my house. We'd lost a baby at the same time. I know, sorry for lowering the tone here, but I like to try and be truthful. I do. Obviously, my pets, so my two cats, I've had to leave behind. And it did take me quite a while to kind of get on my feet and kind of get things back to sort of where they were. But yeah, so a little bit awkward, I mean, there's a video overrun as well. I'm not going to remove it off the channel. It is what it is. It's part of my life, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, awkward.
it's a really good arrangement for me, that I can play games whenever and not get into trouble. So yeah, we play a lot of games together, and we played this one. Very good.
And that still hasn't changed, which is honest. She actually said to me, "You won't find anyone as cool as me, so you won't be able to play PlayStation as much as you want, but I can, because Becky loves it, and she loves me, so she'll let me do what I want anyway." But yeah, so that being said, me and Becky play a lot of games together, and I still do that. If you've got that, I think it's absolutely brilliant. If you've got a significant other you can play these co-op games with, and if this is one that you guys haven't played, you maybe on the fence about, you've maybe seen it and you're not too sure, it's definitely up there with other games I've played. Yes, it's not the level of like It Takes Two, but it's such a fantastic little co-op game, and it offers a fair challenge. I mean, I say challenge, it's easy enough, but a bit of a grind. You do have to think a little bit, but yeah, definitely give Swords of Ditto a go.
Sort of top-down RPG. I'd definitely check it out if you're looking for something to play, with a friend. It was enjoyable. Titanfall 2, loved it. Never expected it to be so good. One of the best first-person shooter campaigns I think I've played. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was only the one trophy there. I can't remember the name of the trophy now, but running the gauntlet in the time, something about becoming the master, I think. Took me a few tries, maybe an hour or so, but not too bad with a little bit of practice. Watch Dogs, Cyberpunk, which I loved. Really glad I waited. I was so excited for this game, and it's
Loved
very,
it.
very rare that I will listen to anybody when it comes to gaming, because I know a lot of people just like to hate games, or find something that they don't enjoy. I always find the positives, but it was kind of so bad I had to take a step back on this occasion. I'm really glad I did, because I got the PS5 copy when it came out, and it was unbelievable. Very, very few bugs. I think the a handful of things where some items were maybe a little bit off the ground when picking them up. The odd pedestrian was maybe a foot off the ground, and I had one where I was going through a tunnel and it was raining through the tunnel. But nothing game breaking. It was more funny
awesome
than
game, had a great
anything.
experience
The
with
things
it.
I did see. COD 4 Modern Warfare. Yeah, loved it. Took too much of my time back in the day, as I previously mentioned, but I was quite happy to get stuck in, do the platinum. Let's have a look. Human Fall Flat. Enjoyed it. They keep bringing DLC out, which is great that it keeps getting supported, but it's a nightmare when you go back on your list and you see that one of your games has lost its 100%, and I'm
Every time. I'll probably recorded this video and there'll be another DLC to do.
thinking, what's going on? Oh, it's Human Fall Flat, so I'll check that first now. So yeah, I've recently put that back on, as you'll see, 7th of April, jumped back in, done I think it's called Lumber, the latest DLC pack. It wasn't too bad,
Who knows?
very easy, just to get the 100% back. Uncharted 4, one of the best games ever, love Uncharted. Crash 3, which is the only Crash game I have platinumed in the series, regrettably. I am only about 3 time trials off doing the first one, so I need to put that back in and get that boxed off, and then maybe try the others. 4 I don't think will ever happen. 4's ridiculously hard. Some of the levels, just playing them through the story was a bit much, so I can't see that happen. I don't like to throw the towel in, but I might have to on this occasion. Riders Republic is pretty.
So a little bit on Crash there. So yeah, back then, yeah, as you can see, Crash 3 was the only one that I had. I've since done 1, so I did kind of keep my promise to myself that I would go back and try. I've done 1, including Stormy Ascent, so we got that 100%. I will go in and do 2 once I've caught up on my games a little bit. Crash Team Racing is part of my 10 game challenge, so I will be looking at installing that again very soon. 4, I mean, I still kind of agree with what I said, but back then I hadn't played Super Meat Boy and a few other things that I've now played where I do feel like I've improved as a gamer and my skills have gone up a little bit. Just kind of my patience and tolerance levels of temperament is better, if you like. So maybe I do have the willpower to push through and maybe give Crash 4. I mean, I'm going to do them in an order. I'm not going to do it before the others. We'll kind of go up in stages. So I'll look at Crash 2 and Crash Team Racing. And Crash Team Racing is a different kind of game entirely. But if we can do those, I'll maybe try and finish off with 4.
Pretty good. I think they learned, what they did from like Steep and the Crew, and it was a decent package. Just annoying going for the platinum. You're doing the mass races. They were only available every 30 minutes. You couldn't just do them when you wanted. So to do 50 of them, it did take a long time. Deadpool, thoroughly enjoyed it. I think other than the South Park games, it's probably the game that, although it's definitely not one of my favourite games, it's probably one of the games I've had the most fun with and laughed. There's a lot of laughs to be had. Nolan North does very well voicing Deadpool.
He really does.
But yeah, there's a whole lot of fun to be had with that. I don't know for certain, but I think it's hard to get now. I don't know if it's you can't buy it or it's something like that. But if you can get a copy of it, get it played, it's great. The Division, brilliant. I enjoy both of those games. I still haven't finished the second one. I need to go back in, but love the first. Infamous, which is actually, crazy enough, the only PS3 Platinum I have because of changing profiles for the PS4. I picked this up off PS Now just because I wanted to go back to the.
And this is pretty much still the same. So my profile, Infamous is still the only PS3 Platinum that I have. I did have plans to pick up a couple. Obviously PS Now doesn't exist, does it? It's all incorporated in with the PS Plus stuff. But I will try and add a few more. Ideally, I'd like to get a PS3 really, because I don't want to stream the games. I had not the greatest experience with this, which is why I didn't do more. So I really need to try and just purchase a PS3, because if they're not going to release a Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Collection as a trilogy, on PS5, which is what I really want, I'm going to have to play them on PS3, as well as some of the other amazing games that are not on my list. But yeah, still the only PS3 one.
Them. and I don't know why I didn't carry on with some PS Now games. Probably my backlog. It's over 100 games. When I say over 100 games, I don't mean a list of games I want or that are on a wish list. These are games that I own, whether it be physical,
It's not
digital.
got better.
I'm a sucker for a sale, so when these options come up on the PS Store, I just can't help myself. I buy them, they sit there, and some are still sat there years later, so I need to stop. Um, Assassin's Creed, I think I'm going to go with Unity. I think that one is.
It
Again, I can
definitely
only
is,
see the
Jeff.
name of the
Use your
trophy on
eyes.
this screen, but yeah, I'm pretty certain that's Unity. I didn't mind it. Again, I got this late. I think it was a bit messy on release, but certainly when I played it in 2018, it was a good experience. Doom, loads of fun. Yeah, how do you describe it? You're just kicking people's heads in for 20, 30 hours or whatever it was. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was good. I can't wait to play Doom Eternal. A friend of mine keeps banging on about it.
Which we're
He's a
playing
big
at the
fan of it,
moment.
so I'm going to take his word, get stuck into Doom Eternal very soon. F1 2021, which I absolutely loved. I love the Formula One. I stopped playing the games for a while though, but I've got back into them, and yeah, it looks great. Best Formula One game ever made, but I have seen stuff of F1 22 and it looks phenomenal. Can't wait to play that at the end of June.
Yeah, it really was.
Um,
And now,
and I think
can't
we'll
wait for
finish it with,
23.
because
Looks even
these
better.
pages, they have 50 per page. So I think if we sort of finish off with this one, so I don't want to take too much time up, especially in the first video when there's so much we can talk about in others. But the last one being Fallout 4. I played this actually a few years ago, and for the life of me, I could not get the Benevolent Leader trophy. I tried everything. I followed guides online, to the point where I had well-established, well-run, well-oiled sort of towns almost, and couldn't get it. And then I ended up actually getting the trophy by having a settlement with one person and just a load of random items scattered everywhere. So I might have had like 100 turnips, 100 tomatoes, 100 oil cans, just random things, 50 sofas. Just it looked messy as hell, but
Yeah,
it actually ended up
ridiculous
working. I
trophy.
found a video online which was super helpful. Um, yeah, so I'm really glad that I was able to, kind of box that one off really. But yeah, that's kind of the sort of the top 50 rarest. Um, there's obviously some further on, which I can maybe talk about another time, that are more impressive. As I say, I do have Neo, I do have Bloodborne, Cuphead, but they just don't appear this high up. I could be mistaken, but I think things like Bloodborne, it's kind of tailored to a certain type of player. So the people who do play it tend to finish it. So I think it's like 20% or just over 20% rarity, which makes it seem like it's not that bad to get. But I think it's just because it has such a dedicated player.
And that's something else I still stand by as well. I think because it is aimed at a certain player, which is exactly what I'm saying now. I don't know why I'm echoing it. But yeah, I do think that people get over the line, or even those that can't finish it. It is very easy to, have people join your game and get you through bosses. It's quite simple doing that. So even though they generally are like an average about 7 out of 10 difficulty, let's say, and people do tend to do them.
Player based. Not everyone's playing, Bloodborne. People who are playing it are the people who can do it. So it seems like it's more common because of that. But yeah, there's certainly some harder games, further back, and that's something I can maybe look at, especially rearranging the trophy cabinet as well. A couple of dash stats we could maybe finish off with. I think again you can pause these if you want to have a sort of a little look at it. It just gives you an overview of the games you've played and on what platform, the trophy you've got, and which ones they are. You can sort of see the percentages of the games here. So you'll see what I try to do is on PSN profiles is get everything above 50% and have an A rank. So I'm not one of these people that'll put myself through the pain of getting the platinum, getting the 100%. If I'm not enjoying myself, I'll get it to above 50, which generally happens as you're naturally playing, and then I'll leave it. Gaming and enjoyment should come first. As much as I love trophies, you shouldn't be putting yourself through some of the things you do just to finish a game off. Put it down, get on something.
I'll almost disagree a little bit with what I'm saying. I do and I've said it in plenty of the videos recently that, you know, gaming should always come first. I do think that sometimes we put too much of a focus on the trophies. Um, and yeah, but I do. I mean, I'm kind of going against myself here because now, where there are certain games where I have started to get a little bit annoyed, maybe bored of the grind, I might have put them down 12 months ago. As long as it had like an A rank, it was above 50%. It wasn't too low on the list. I'd have just potentially moved on, but I am kind of pushing through now. So yeah, sort of half agreeing and disagreeing with past Jeffrey.
You enjoy, just to prevent that burnout and that lull. You don't want that. But yeah, I'll try and get everything over 50%. These are nothing, but let's have a look out of curiosity because it has been a while since I've checked these out.
And to be fair, what's probably changed is you guys again. You know, stats are becoming quite a big thing, like average rarity, unearned trophies, completion rate, you know, all these types of things. I'm seeing what others have got, and it's massively changed my mindset as well on kind of where I want to be. So I didn't, like I say, used to think too much about the unearned trophies. I used to just, like I say, get it above 50%, and if I was quite satisfied with the game, just leave it there. But now I need to try and, you know, push it over the line kind of thing. I need to anyway. I don't have all these easy games pushing my completion up.
So for anyone who hasn't seen these, it's just the sort of the time of day and which day of the week that is the most popular for your trophies popping. So you'll see that Sunday
Yeah, we don't really
is
look at this
actually that
anymore,
most
do
popular
we?
day,
It doesn't
which is
matter when.
potentially going to be the case for a lot of people who maybe have a Monday to Friday job, for example. I don't have that now. I work kind of weird shift patterns, so
Yeah, the stat that we look at more now is this one here, which I think is a little bit better because I think it's quite interesting to see people's trophy journey. Like, did they start off just casual and has it kind of really picked up? You know, have they had breaks at some point where they've maybe had that burnout and needed a rest? You know, I think it's a bit more of an interesting stat because the time of day you're doing it, it's, I mean, from some profiles I've seen, I don't know if it's always, you know, the most accurate, but yeah.
it might over time change. But I was working Monday to Friday rather for years. So Sunday was always game day, and you'll see 2,939 trophies just on a Sunday. Looking at the times here, that seems to be the highest one. Yeah, between 8 and 9 o'clock, 1,348. So yeah, probably a popular time for most. Sort of getting into the evening while you're settling down. You've had your dinner already, you relax, play some video games, and I think the only times I haven't popped a trophy
What
is
happened there?
between 3 and 5 o'clock. Yeah, I'm very surprised because I've had a few wild, late nights, so that does surprise me why I don't have any there. But yeah, I think I'll probably, on this occasion, I'll leave it there. As I said, there's loads to delve into here, but I don't want to,
Apologies if
the
there's a
video
bit
to
of
be too
flickering
long, especially with it being the first
on
video.
your
I
side.
don't want you
I'm
guys
not
to
quite
get
sure
bored
what
and
that
want to switch
was.
off. But if you have stayed till the end, I really appreciate it.
It's
I
almost
honestly
like
do.
it's
It's the first time I've ever done this. I feel a bit weird.
it's almost like it's dropped the definition. It did. It kind of went down from quick pause. How professional's this? We'll leave it in for the comedy, don't we? See how what's happened. I meant to put my computer on charge at the start of the video, and I didn't put it on charge at the start of the video. So as it's went into the kind of battery saver mode, it's taken it from HD down to like 480p. So if you did get that little break there in the screen, and then the definition changed a little bit, I do apologise.
Talking into a camera, into my laptop, just talking
Welcome
to
to the
myself.
professional world of
While my
Platinum
wife's downstairs,
Jengas.
probably listening and having a giggle. It is a bit
A
bizarre.
bit of a giggle.
But yeah, I
Bit of a
hope you
giggle,
guys have
mate.
enjoyed it. As I say, I'm going to stick to what what I enjoy doing and what I enjoy looking at first, and I'll do a series around trophy list reviews. Got a few lined up, but yeah, anyone who sees this, anyone who wants to get theirs sort of looked at and scrutinised by me, not that I have any right, but I'm very intrigued to see what you guys have been playing. Drop me a message. As I say, you can drop it in YouTube, but anything that does come through the Discord, which, as I say, I will leave a link for, they will get priority. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing what you guys have played. Compare yourself with me, see how much better you are. But yeah, it should be exciting. As I say, I've got some great ideas for the future as well, which I'll start implementing once I can kind of get used to all of this and the editing side, and once I speed things up and make it more efficient, we can sort of churn this out a lot quicker and bring in the other ideas I've got. But yeah, I think sort of for now, we'll leave it there. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. And
Go
I'll
on,
see you in the
Jeff.
next one. Peace.
So there we have it. The rest history. Yeah, I got used to it as it went on. I think me talking about the games wasn't so bad. Maybe needed a bit more energy in the voice, as I've already mentioned. It was just that intro. What was going on with that intro? That definitely needed work. And although it hasn't changed too much, it is just me sat here. There's a little bit more life in me, I'd like to think. But yeah, it was just a first attempt. And even to this day, nothing, we don't script anything. I don't write anything down. I like to just talk and let it come off the top of the dome. Why did I do that? But yeah, it's, it is what it is. But yeah, it was the first attempt and I thought it was all right. It was okay. Bit weird watching it back. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So there we have it. There's my first reaction video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was good going through. Yeah, put myself to sleep nearly. It was quite fun. And even moving forward, it could be something else I can do if you want me guys to react to something else, even if it's just gameplay of something, trailers, when there's the premieres, that kind of stuff. That state of play kind of videos. We can do anything really, but yeah, hopefully it was all right. It was something a little bit different, just for the kind of year birthday. Take the mick out myself a little bit. It was. I'm still just cringing at all I can picture is the intro. Just what's going on, guys? Platinum Jenga. It's just literally burned into my brain. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I just wanted to come back just to say thank you once again. I know I said it quite a bit, but honestly you don't realise how much it means that you guys follow along and support me through this crazy wild journey. It really, really does mean the most. It really does. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please drop it a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I will leave all the links to the description in the description. See, I can't even talk anymore. I'm just links will be in the description. Whatever you're doing, look after yourself, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.